Hello and welcome to the 2020 virtual Cornell Hemp Research Team Field Day. My name is Jennifer Starr and I am the Research Support Specialist for Dr. Gary Bergstrom's Field Crops Pathology Laboratory. I also work alongside Kevin Myers, who helps with scouting for hemp disease and does our molecular testing. Today I'll be giving a brief overview of foliar diseases and possible management strategies. I want to focus this talk on just a few things. To highlight, I will start with septoria leaf spot and bipolaris leaf spot, also known as hemp leaf spot. Then I will move to lesser impact emerging leaf diseases such as downy mildew and hemp rust. Septoria leaf spot is caused by the fungus Septoria species, and symptoms begin on the lower leaves of the plant as irregularly shaped spots with yellow margins. These spots expand over time, turn brown, and the yellow margins broaden to look something like this. This was observed in eastern New York in 2019 and in eastern and western New York in 2020. In this slide, I have a video of what septoria leaf spot looks like in the field. And as you can see, it is on the lower leaves, and we see those brown spots with the bigger yellow margins. This is septoria leaf spot. The next highlight is bipolaris leaf spot, also known as hemp leaf spot. This is caused by a fungus that's being classified as bipolaris gigantea, related to Drusillera gigantea. Symptoms start as round specks and spots that coalesce over time, and sometimes they have a dark margin here with lighter tan interiors, or sometimes don't have any margin at all. We have noticed this leaf spot disease since Cornell's hemp team started the program a few years back, and we usually notice this at the end of the growing season, and we've noticed this throughout New York State. This is not a super high impact disease, as other states have seen it defoliate plants. We have not seen that yet in New York State. Next up, we have downy mildew, lesser impact emerging disease. This is caused by Pseudopernospora cannabina, which has just been recently ID'd by sequencing last week. The spots start out as these light green yellow spots with necrotic margins, and the lower surface of the leaf, you can actually see the fungus growing in humid conditions, or if you catch it in the morning time when the dew is still on the plant. Later on, the lesions become a little more angular and are defined by the leaf veins of the hemp plant. This was just recently observed in Ithaca last week, so in 2020. And in the next slide, I have a video of what it looks like on the plant. And this is a good example of how the veins of the leaf are demarcating the spot and confining it, as you see here. This is downy mildew on hemp. Our last feature is hemp rust, and hemp rust has been morphologically identified as Uredo krigeriana. And again, this is something we're going to want to be looking on the lower surface of the leaf. We have yellow to orange pustules or spots on the lower surface, and on the upper surface we have these necrotic areas with very faint chlorosis around them. And then sometimes rust disease systems have alternate hosts to complete their life cycle. We have not found an alternate host with this hemp rust. Sometimes rust disease systems don't have alternate hosts. We found this last year at the end of the growing season in October of 2019. We will be looking again this year for this so we can try to study it further. The following slide is a close-up of what the pustule looks like on the undersurface of the leaf and what is inside that pustule. These are uridinospores of hemp rust. We do see other hemp leaf spots. I wanted to include a quick summary of those here. We see Cristulariella zonate leaf spot. We see Cercospora leaf spot. We see some Psyllium leaf spot. And we also see a number of other diseases that are not leaf spots. We see Fusarium bud blight, which could have implications for quality of flowers and grain. We see Fusarium wilt. We see white mold. And we see Botrytis gray mold. So as you can see, in addition to leaf spot diseases, we do see and work on other diseases that are affecting hemp. So possible product treatments, we are directing growers to go to the DEC, New York DEC webpage at this address and go to pesticide product information, hit search. This will bring you to advanced search. You want to click that, press search, which will then bring you to pesticide use. You want to choose hemp industrial, hit search. That will bring up about 98 products, most of which are biologic in nature, some bacillus type products. You want to check the labels on those to make sure hemp is included. All of this information, again, is present on the Cornell Hemp webpage under the FAQ heading. In addition to the DEC webpage, we want to use best agronomic practices. This will be second nature to seasoned growers and producers, but we want to start with prevention, with having reliable seed source and good soil health. It is a myth that hemp can be produced on marginal soils. We want fertile soil, well-drained soil. We want our plant spacing to be such where we're reducing the humidity between the plants, because fungus really loves to be in humid places. It encourages its growth. Sanitation, very important. We want to remove debris off-site. You may burn it, you may compost it, but we want it away from the hemp field. Weed control, also very important. We have noticed Cercospora growing on weeds. We have noticed Downy mildew growing on weeds. Are those weeds vectors for fungal growth to the hemp, or is it the other way around? We are still investigating that, but it's important to keep those weeds in control and out of the way. Crop rotation, also something to note. Edible beans, soybeans, sunflowers, and their white mold, probably not a great idea to follow hemp after those crops. Also in question recently, corn and cereal crops producing mycotoxins. Will it be wise to put hemp after those crops? And then resistant cultivars, something that our program here at Cornell are working towards now. If you have questions about your hemp crop and have problems and want some diagnostics, it may be wise for you to contact your Cornell Cooperative Extension educator. If you don't know who yours is, you may go to the Cornell Hemp page and find who your representative is. If you would like to submit samples to my lab, you may submit them through your Cornell Cooperative Extension educator through them to us. We may not give you the best turnaround time, but it will be of no charge to you. Or if you're looking for some quick results, you can use our plant disease diagnostic clinic at Cornell, and it is a fee for service. It's relatively low cost. I believe it's $30 to $35 if you're in state, $50 if you're out of state, and I've left the contact information for you here. Again, all of this information is on the Cornell team webpage. I'm going to leave you with our lab's contact information. This is Dr. Gary Bergstrom's email address. This is my email address and our laboratory phone number if you have further questions after this talk today. Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Cornell's virtual hemp talks today.